Problem number 3 is solving an equation with the distributive property. So first thing I recommend is drawing a line through where the equals is, because the goal is you're trying to get the variable by itself. And everything on this side needs to move over to this side in the sense that you need to undo everything on this side so that the variable is alone and all the numbers that the computation has been done over here. So first thing, if you have a number right next to parentheses, it means multiply. It means you have 5 of everything inside. So that means you have 5 times 2x. So that's 5 times 2, which is 10. Therefore, you have 5 groups of 2, 10x's. And we also have 5 groups of positive 4. So 5 times 4 is positive 20. And then we have our equals. This is all equal to a negative 10. Now our goal is to get this x by itself. So we have to undo whatever is being added or subtracted first. So in this case, we have a plus 20. The opposite of positive 20 is subtracting 20 because this will now be 0. And we have to keep things balanced and equal. So whatever we do on this side, over here, we just simplified this. Okay, so that's why we didn't have to do anything over here. But now we're actually changing this. So therefore, we have to do it to the other side. So this becomes 0. We still have our 10 times x, which is now equal to negative 10 minus 20, which is negative 30. Both negative, so we add them. 10 times x, the opposite of times is division. Divide by 10. Got to do the same thing to both sides. So x is equal to negative 30 divided by a positive 10, which is negative 3. And that is our answer. And then we can check it. So we go back to our original equation up here. We have 5 times 2 times x. But now we're saying x must be equal to negative 3 to work. So instead of an x, I'm putting a negative 3. We have our plus 4, parentheses, equals negative 10. And we start simplifying from the inside of the grouping out. So we do multiplication before we do addition. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. We did not take care of this 5 yet, so we bring that down. The parentheses are still here. Bring everything else down because we have not applied it yet. Now we have to do what's in parentheses. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. Bring down our parentheses around negative 2. We still have our 5. We haven't done anything with that yet. And so our final statement here, 5 times negative 2 equals negative 10. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10, so it works. So our answer is negative 3. Here's the problem I've created as a u-try. 3 times the quantity, so you have parentheses, x minus 2 equals 15. Please try the problem before I do the answer. So we're going to do distributive property. This is 3 times x. We have a little ninja 1 here because it's invisible. 3 times 1, which is 3 x's. And then we also have to do 3 times negative 2. Positive 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 equals positive 15. We want to get this x by itself, so we need to undo addition or subtraction first. So in this case, we need to undo minus 6 with plus 6. Got to keep it balanced, do the same thing to both sides, and we bring down our 3x. 15 plus 6 is 21. Now we have 3 times x. To undo multiplication, we divide, because 3 divided by 3 is 1, so that will leave us with just an x. And then we have to do the same thing to both sides. We divide it by 3, so we divide by 3, and we get 7. That is our answer. Now to check it, we have 3 times the quantity. Instead of an x, I'm going to put a 7 minus 2 should be equal to positive 15. We do what's in parentheses first. 7 minus 2, is 5. Bring down the parentheses. Anything right next to parentheses is multiplication. So 3 times 5 is 15, and it is, so we know it's the right answer. Last but not least, this is your homework problem, so please try it before you check to see how you did. We're going to distribute first to get rid of these parentheses. 2 times x. Remember, there's an invisible 1 here, so 2 times 1 is 2. So we'll have 2x, and then 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 equals 3. And we have our x here. We need to undo subtraction first. The opposite of subtraction is addition, and we need to do it to both sides to keep things balanced and equal. This is 0, so it's gone. So we still have 2x on the left, and 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 times x, so the opposite of times is divide by 2, Got to do the same thing to both sides, and therefore the answer is 5/2. In algebra, we do like to leave things improper, but you could also change this if you wanted to use your calculator. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. 2.5, that's a point, or 2.5. I'm going to leave it as a fraction just to check really quick. We've got 2 times the quantity 5/2 minus 1 equals 3. Well, I know 1 is the same thing as 2/2, changing it to a fraction so that I can do 5/2 minus 2/2. I'm just filling in everything here. So we're going to have 2 times 5 minus 2 is 3/2 equals 3. 2 is the same thing as 2/1. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And therefore I know my answer is 5/2 or 2.5.